Hello there, с вами Miss Arina, and today we talk about the past continuous and past perfect continuous differences. Now, let's remember the past continuous and the past perfect continuous. Past continuous positive. I, he, she, it was cooking at 11 a.m. You, we, they were cooking at 11 a.m. Question. Was I, he, she, it cooking at 11 a.m.? Were you, we, they cooking at 11 a.m.? And negative. I, he, she, it wasn't cooking at 11 a.m. You, we, they weren't cooking at 11 a.m. Past perfect continuous positive. I, you, we, they, he, she, it had been cooking. Question. Had I, you, we, they, he, she, it been cooking? And negative. I, you, we, they, he, she, it hadn't been cooking. How to define past continuous and past perfect continuous? First, when we talk about past actions. While both sentences tend to talk about past actions, there is a teeny detail you need to consider. When we want to talk about ongoing activities in the past, we use past continuous tense. Now, to talk about longer actions in the past before another action in the past, we use past perfect continuous. Examples. I was working at the office. Here we are talking about an action that was in process in the past. Or, look, I had been working in the office when 9/11 happened. Here we are referring to an action that happened in the past while another took place. Frequent action. When we want to talk about something that happened several times before a point in the past and continued after that point, we use past perfect continuous. When we want to talk about an action that happened frequently in the past, we use past continuous with adverbs or adverb phrases to indicate the repetition of actions. For example, I was staying overtime every day for a month. Here we are referring to a past action that used to be a routine. I had been staying overtime every day since April. Here we are indicating the duration of an ongoing action in the past. Narration. When we want to narrate a past action or to tell a story in the past tense, we tend to start with past continuous to give a general background. For example, the Red Hood was going to her grandmother when the wolf saw her. Here, we are giving a background knowledge before moving on with the story. The Red Hood had been going to her grandmother when the wolf saw her. Here, we do not have a typical storytelling pattern. Now we will do a little practice. Here you need to choose the correct answer. Look, I was trying or I had been trying to fall asleep when I heard a strange noise. I put in earplugs because my roommate was listening or had been listening to heavy metal. Kay finally beat Kira at chess because he was practicing or had been practicing. The phone was ringing or had been ringing for 10 minutes when someone finally answered it. I let Mike borrow my laptop because I wasn't using it, or I hadn't been using it. Amy was living or had been living in the same house for 45 years, so her move was unexpected. I was sending out or had been sending out my resume for about 5 weeks before I got my first interview. I was advertising or I had been advertising for months before I got my first customer. Now please put the pause, do an exercise, and then we will check it with you, okay? Now we will check, okay? Now let's check. I was trying to fall asleep when I heard a strange noise. I put in earplugs because my roommate was listening to heavy metal. Kay finally beat Kira at chess because he had been practicing. The phone had been ringing for 10 minutes when someone finally answered it. I let Mike borrow my laptop because I wasn't using it. Amy had been living in the same house for 45 years, so her move was unexpected. I had been sending my resume for about 5 weeks before I got my first interview. I hadn't been advertising for months, had been advertising for months before I got my first customer. Good job! Thank you very much. That's all for today. See you!